Good morning and welcome to our Kali Puja celebration. We have some chanting to start with by the Sarada Nuns. Then we'll be having talks by Mithu, Dutta and Pravrajika Gayatriprana, interspersed with a special musical performance from our very special friend Tanim Hayat Khan, who'll be performing a Sarada recital for us, as he does each year. And then you're invited out. Well, then after Gayatriprana's talk, the nuns will lead us in a candle offering ceremony to Kali. And then we invite you to stay back and get a share of the offered sweets and savories. So now I request the nuns to sit.
We are chanting from Durga Saptashati, the first book, which is dedicated to Mother Kali. And it was chanted by Brahma himself. So, Om Tvam Swaha Tvam Svadha Tvam Hiva Shatkara Swaratmika Sudha Tvam Akshare Nitye Tridha Matratmika Stita Ardhamatra Sita Nitya Yanucharya Visheshatah Tvameva Satvam Savitri Tvam Deva Janani Para Tvayaitat Dharyate Vishram Tvayaitat Srijyate Jagat Tvayaitat Palyate Devi Tvamasyante Cha Sarvada Visrishtau Srishtirupa Tvam Stitirupa Cha Palane Tatha Samhrati Rupante Jagatosya Jaganmaye Mahavidya Mahamaya Mahamedha Mahasmriti Mahamoha Cha Bhavati Mahadevi Mahasuri Prakritistvam Cha Sarvasya Gunatraya Vibhavini Kalaratrir Maharatrir Moharatrischa Daruna Tvam Shri Swamishwari Tvam Hristvam Buddhir Bodhalakshana Lajja Pushtistatha Tushtistam Shantik Shantirevacha Khadgini Shulini Ghora Gadini Chakrini Tatha Shankini Chapini Bana Pushandi Parigayudha Saumya Saumyatara Shesha Saumye Vyastvati Sundari Paraparanam Parama Tvameva Parameshwari Yaccha Kinchit Vachidvastu Sadasadvakhilatmike Tasya Sarvasya Ya Shakti Satvam Kim Stuyase Maya Yaya Tvaya Jagat Srashta Jagat Patatiyo Jagat Sopi Nidravasham Nita Kastvam Stotumiheshwarah Vishnu Sharira Grahanam Ahamishanaye Vacha Karitaste Totastvam Kastotum Shaktiman Bhavet Satvamitham Prabhavai Svairudarair Devi Samstuta Mohayeto Duradharsha Vasuro Madhukaitabhav Prabodam Cha Jagat Swami Niyatam Achyuto Laghu Bodhascha Kriyatamasya Hantumetau Mahasurau.
And now I'll invite our dear friend Mithu Dutta to come and give her talk.
Okay, let me start. I'm not 6 foot tall, so I hope you can see me. Today I'm giving a talk on the Divine Mother Kali. Let me give you a little background of myself. I come from Kolkata. Our home being very near to Kolkata, Kalighat. It was almost a ritual for us to visit Kali temple during the puja. Now, of course, I'm very lucky to be able to attend Kali Puja in celebration at the Vedanta Hall. I thank you, Gayatriprana Mataji, Sriparama Mataji, Netrapana Mataji, and of course our Robert, to give me this auspicious day to give a talk. In the history of Hinduism, I'm just going to hold it. In the history of Hinduism, the goddess Kali appears in the Mundaka Upanishad, section 1, chapter 2, verse 4. Not explicitly as a goddess, but as a black tongue of 7 flickering tongues of Agni, the Hindu god of fire. However, the prototype of the figure, now known as Mother Kali, appears the Rig Veda in the form of goddess named Ratri. Ratri is considered to be the prototype of both Durga and Kali. Later on, Puranas firmly gave Mother Kali a place in the Hindu pantheon. According to the Markandeya Purana, she is said to have emanated from the brow of the goddess Durga. Goddess Durga is a slayer of demons or Avidya during one of the battles between the divine and the anti-divine forces. In this contest, Kali is considered the forceful form of great goddess Durga. That brings me to the next topic. Divine Mother in the Kali in the Tantric tradition. Mother Kali seems to dominate much of the Tantric iconography, texts, and rituals. In many sources, Mother Kali is praised as the highest reality or greatest of all deities. The figure of Mother Kali conveys death, destructions, fear, and the consumed aspects of reality. As such, she is also forbidden thing or even death itself. In the Tantric tradition, Pankatava rituals performed on cremation grounds, the devotee of Shadyaka boldly seeks confront Mother Kali and thereby assimilates and transforms her into a vehicle of salvation. Here, she is identified as the supreme mistress of the universe, the consort of Lord Shiva. In union with Lord Shiva, Mother Kali creates and destroys manifested worlds. Her appearance also takes a different turn, belifting her role as ruler of the manifested worlds and also the object of meditation. In contrast to her terrible aspects, the Tantric tradition thus takes on hints of her more benign dimension. She's described as young and beautiful, has a gentle smile, and makes gestures with her 2 right hands to dispel any fear and to offer blessings or boons. The positive features of Mother Kali in the Tantric tradition thus shows the distillation of divine worth into goddess of salvation, who offers the devotee or sadhaka some sense of fearlessness. Here, Mother Kali appears a symbol of triumph over death. Now let me tell you what Mother Kali means in Bengali tradition. Mother Kali is also a central figure in the late medieval Bengali devotional literature, with such devotees as Ramprasad Sen, 1718 to 75, who was born in the early 18th century. With the exception of being associated with Parvati as Shiva's consort, Kali is rarely pictured in Hindu mythology and iconography as a motherly figure until in Bengali devotional literature that began in the early 18th century. Even in Bengali tradition, her appearance and habits change little, if at all. The tantric approach of Mother Kali was to display devotees' courage by confronting her on the cremation grounds in the dead of night, despite her terrible appearance. In contrast, the Bengali devotees appropriate Mother Kali's teaching by adopting the attitude of a child. In both cases of Tantric and Bengali traditions, the goal of the devotees are as follows: to become reconciled with death, and the second, to learn acceptance the way it is. These themes are well addressed in Ramprasad's numerous Bengali songs. To be a child of Mother Kali, as Ramprasad asserts, is to be denied of earthly delights and pleasures. Now, the next one will be contemporary popular of the goddess Kali. Classic depictions of Mother Kali share several features, which are as follows. Kali's, as you can see there, Kali's most common four-armed iconographic images shows each hand carrying a sword, a trishul, a trident, a severed head, and a bowl or a skull cup catching the blood of the severed head. Two of these hands, usually the left ones, are holding a sword and a severed head. The sword signifies divine knowledge, and the human head signifies human ego, which must be slain by the divine knowledge in order to attain liberation or moksha. The other two hands, usually the right ones, are in the Avya and the Varada mudras, or blessings, which means her initiated devotees or anyone worshipping her with a true heart will be saved, as she will guide them here in life and here thereafter. She has a garland consisting of human heads, either 108 as auspicious number in Hinduism and the number of countable beads, or a japa mala for repetition of mantras, or 51, which represents the garland of letters of the Sanskrit alphabets, Devangari. Hindus believe Sanskrit is a language of dynamism, and each of these letters represents a form of energy or a form of Kali. Therefore, she is generally seen as the mother of language and all mantras. She is often depicted naked, which symbolizes her being beyond covering of Maya or illusion, since she is pure, nirguna, being consciousness, bliss, and far above Prakriti. She is shown as very dark, as she is Brahman in its supreme unmanifested state. She has no permanent qualification, which we doubt. She will continue to exist even when the universe ends. Goddess Kali in the tradition form, standing on Shiva's chest. She is shown standing on the prone, inert or dead body, Shava, or corpse of Shiva. There is mythological story of the reason behind her standing on what appears Shiva's corpse. The story goes like this. Once Kali had destroyed all the demons in the battlefield, she began a terrific dance out of sheer joy and victory. All the world or locusts began to tremble and sway under the impact of her dance. So, at the request of gods, Shiva himself asked her to abstain from the behavior. However, she was too intoxicated to listen. Hence, Shiva lay like a corpse among the slain demons in order to absorb the shock of the dance into himself. When Mother Kali eventually stepped upon her husband, she realized her mistake and bit her tongue in shame. However, the symbolism of this mythological perspective is often seen as antiquated and misogynistic. There is, however, a more thoughtful interpretation of Mother Kali standing on top of her husband in the Tantric tradition, which is as follows. The Shiv, Tavata, divine consciousness as Shiva, is inactive, while the Shakti, Tavata, divine energy as Kali, is active. Shiva or Mahadeva represents Brahman, the absolute pure consciousness, which is beyond all names, forms, and activities. Kali, on the other hand, represents the potential and manifested energy responsible for all names, forms, and activities. She is Shakti or creative power and is seen as the substance behind the entire content of consciousness. She can never exist apart from Shiva, and she can never exist apart from Shiva or act independently of him. Example, Shakti, all the matter energy, duality of the universe is not distinct from Shiva or Brahman, but is rather dynamic power of Brahman. Let me conclude with the implication of this universe of matter energy, duality, following Swami Vivekananda's interpretation. As Swami Vivekananda puts it, this world of multiplicity, example, this world of manifestation is the realm of Shakti or the creative power of Mother Kali. When one transcends this relative phenomenon world of duality in the deepest nirvikalpa state of pure consciousness or samadhi, one realizes Brahman, the interpersonal aspects of ultimate reality. Swami, however, notes that very few can reach that state of nirvikalpa samadhi. He goes on saying, all else like us come under the jurisdiction of Shakti, the personal aspects of ultimate reality. Most of us are, as Swami notes, under the jurisdiction of Maya or illusion or ignorance, which, as the Chinmoyi Shakti, the energy of infinite consciousness, is viewed as a person, as the divine mother. Thus, in all aspects of our life and work, and in an interhuman relationship, as Swami observes, we live, we move, and have our being, all in the divine mother, like fish in the water. Thank you all.
Happy Diwali to all of you. Mithu has covered the whole lot. So I'll be repeating the same thing. I don't think there's anything more. She has covered the whole lot for me. I don't have much new things to say anyway. Of course, there is nothing new. The whole of India, all Hindus everywhere, they'll be celebrating Diwali, Diwali, the same. But for us, the devotees of Sri Ramakrishna, it's mainly Kali Puja. Kali is the main thing. It's important because Sri Ramakrishna spent his adult life in Dakshinesha Kali temple from 1855 to 1885. And he started his experiments in the spiritual field, trying all the different paths, everything in Dakshinesha Kali temple. And he had the first vision he had was of Mother Kali. And he remained a child of Mother Kali till the end. Even after he had attained the state of Nirvikalpa Samadhi, and though his teacher, Guru, Totapuri, told him, oh, this is all, when he was chanting Mother Kali's name, clapping his hands, Totapuri made fun and ridiculed him. Oh, are you making chapatis? Because North India, they just with the hand, instead of rolling, they may do that. So he was making fun. But for Sri Ramakrishna, he was always a child of Mother Kali. And Narendra used to make fun. When Sri Ramakrishna said, oh, Mother said this, spoke like this, he will say, that's all your hallucination, your imagination. You think so, it seems like that. Not really, nothing happened. But then in the end, he had to accept. When Narendra father passed away suddenly, leaving the family in poverty with great debt, then he tried to get a job. Imagine in that time, this is in 1885, he is a graduate of Calcutta University. He couldn't get a job. He went around looking for a job, from place to place, couldn't get a job. In the end, he came to Sri Ramakrishna, asking him to pray to Mother Kali. Sri Ramakrishna said, I can't do that. You pray, go and pray. But then Narendra said, but I don't know your mother. She's your mother. Well, she's my mother, but unless you go and ask, she won't give you. You have to go and ask. And today is an auspicious day. Today is Tuesday, because Tuesday and Saturday are auspicious for Divine Mother. You go and ask. She will give you whatever you ask. So that faith in Sri Ramakrishna's word, she will give you whatever you ask. That kept on as evening proceeded. That spiritual feeling increased. And he had the feeling that he is going to see Mother, not the image, not the idol in the temple, but a real Mother. And he went there, and seeing the living form of Mother, he forgot what he came to ask. And he asked for devotion, knowledge, renunciation, nothing except money. He went to ask for money for the family. Then came back. Sri Ramakrishna, did you ask her? No, I forgot. Go quickly. Second time, the same thing. Third time he remembered. But he felt so ashamed. Going in front of the king and asking for a few potatoes and pumpkins. What a shameful thing. So he asked, give me only knowledge. He added only also. Knowledge, devotion, renunciation, only that. And then came back and told Sri Ramakrishna, no, it's all your play, your trick. Now you have to bless me. And Sri Ramakrishna said, all right, your family won't lack minimum. They will have food and clothes. And so Kali is so important for us. But, and again, one sister Nivedita asked Swamiji, that will the future think that Sri Ramakrishna is an incarnation of Kali? And Swami Vivekananda said, yes, I think there is no doubt that Kali worked up the body of Ramakrishna for her own ends. She is the controller of the whole universe. She has worked up the body of Sri Ramakrishna to work her, to do her work, for her to fulfill her plans. So who is this Kali? Among all the gods and goddesses of Hinduism, she must be the most misunderstood and the most enigmatic, because the usual picture of Kali is not what we have here, well-dressed, wearing Banarasi sari and all those things. No, well, the usual dress of Mother Kali is a necklace of skulls and a girdle of severed arms around her waist. And that's her. And here also you can see her left hands holding a just severed head with dripping blood, and the sword used to cut the head that also dripping with blood. And usually or often mother is depicted as in the cremation ground. So that's not the usual idea of God. Now, I have taken the topic as Kali, the meeting point of contradiction. So if you look at everything, she is the meeting point of contradiction. Left hand showing death, destruction. And if you look at the right hand, one hand is lifted, showing don't be afraid, offering protection, abhaya. And the lower right hand is giving, ready to give boons. Whatever you ask for, whatever you need, she is ready to give. It's up to us what we ask for. She will give whatever we ask for. So seeing the impression, people recoil from her. Seeing all the blood and everything, this is a god. How can you worship such a... You call this a goddess? Years ago, I remember, a devotee came with a child to the mutt. And it was on Ekadashi day. And we had the picture of Sri Rama and Hanuman. And that particular picture, Hanuman is opening his chest and showing the image of Rama and Sita within him. The idea is he has Rama, his heart is filled with the idea of Rama and Sita. So the image of Rama and Sita is there, and he is opening the chest. But the child saw only the blood coming from the opened part of the chest. So we are like that. Seeing this mother dripping head, blood dripping the severed head from the sword, we recoiled. How can you call this a goddess? This is a far cry from the well-dressed gods and goddesses that we have. Look at all the other gods and goddesses. We have all of them fully, all clothed in silk clothes, ornaments, jewels, all that. Mother Kali is an exception. And of course, Shiva is there. Shiva we accept. He is sitting in the Himalayas. So he doesn't have many ornaments. His ornaments are snakes and everything. But Kali, how can a lady be like that? She's very unladylike. So, but she's saying things are opposite. Kali is the ultimate expression of nature, both the destructive and benevolent. And she protects her people. Her people means what? A few privileged ones? No. Whoever go to her, call on her, they are her people. Whoever is turning to her, they are her people. She protects them against evil. Yet she transcends good and evil. So we can say Kali is nature, primordial nature. She's nurturing, creating, and then devouring everything in the end. At the same time, we call her the goddess of death. She is also the most compassionate mother, freeing people from bondage. We have got a lot of things that bind us down. The most important, most powerful is our ego. And that is what she's holding, the severed hand. Severed head, the ego. Our ego she has cut. If you go to her, she'll cut off our ego. Not very, very pleasant experience for most of us, because we hold on to our ego. We don't want to lose our ego. Even highly evolved souls, spiritual aspirants, they are also frightened of losing the ego. Look at Narendra first time when he went to Sri Ramakrishna. Sri Ramakrishna touched him. And Narendra felt that everything is disappearing. Everything is going into the void. His own ego sense of I-ness is disappearing. And he's got so frightened, he screamed, "What are you doing? I got my father, I got my mother." It's very, very difficult. And if you go to her, she'll cut it off. So it's not an easy thing to pray to Mother Kali. Be careful. If you want to hold on to your ego, then keep away from her. But if you go close to her, she'll cut it off, so that we can go closer and closer, because that is a barrier. Ego is keeping us back. So we have to understand what she really means. Kali is not a person, it's a principle. A principle concretized in a personalized form, because abstract ideas, it's very hard to understand and hold on to, remember. So to help us, the great sages keep these abstract ideas in a concrete form for us, for ordinary people, because we are all balas, children. The Upanishad call us balas, children. They are children, ignorant children. So we have to teach them in their language. So they have given us in a concrete form. Kali is the feminine form of Kala, time. Kala means in Sanskrit is time. And God is time. In the Bhagavad Gita, when Arjuna was shown Arjuna wanted to see the universal form of the Lord. And Krishna said, "You can't see with your ordinary eyes, I'll give you divine eyes." So he was given the divine eyes, and he saw the universal form, everything going into destruction. Even with even with the divine eyes, with the blessings of Krishna, he got that. Still, he could not bear it. He got so frightened. And he is asking, what are you? It was Krishna who given, and he is showing this universal form, and Arjuna is asking, what are you? And what is the reply Krishna gave? Alosmi lokakshayakrit pravrittu. I am the time all destroyer. I'm not Krishna. I am time the all destroyer. Time destroys everything. Nothing withstand the time. We are born the other day, we die the other day, next day. In the long span of time, our 100 years of lifespan is nothing, not even a second. Societies, civilizations, everything destroys. Nothing stays. Nothing will survive the onslaught of time. Time destroys everything. So everything is rushing towards that one end, death. Death is the certain thing. And Kali is that power of that time death. Upanishad describe Brahman as that entity from which the whole universe of moving and non-moving has evolved, by which it subsists and into which is absorbed back in the end. And as such, Brahman is actionless, changeless, nothing happens. But the power of Brahman is Kali. So we can say Kali, Brahman is potential energy. We can't energy in the potential form. And Kali, and the same Brahman engages in the action of acts of creation, preservation, and destruction, we call Kali. So Kali is the kinetic energy, potential energy and kinetic energy. They are one and the same. And Kali, as you already heard Mithu saying, is standing on the prostrate form of Shiva. And Kali is dark, black. Another, the meaning for Kali, another is black. Not just the time, power of time. Kali also means she is black. Why is she black? Sri Ramakrishna says, because she's so far away. And then he gives the example, the sky, you look at the sky, it looks blue. But as you go up in the atmosphere, so you go, say from the plane you look out. Again, above you see again blue. However much you go higher and higher, still blue is there. But close by there's no blue. Because of the distance, you see everything blue. The water of the ocean, ocean is blue, water is blue. Go near, take it in the hand. Is there any color for the water? Colorless. But from the distance, it looks blue. So she says, Kali looks black because of the distance. Sir John Woodruff, an authority on Tantra, he has written few books on Tantra, on Kundalini power, serpent power, and all those books. In his book, The Island of Letters, he says, Kali is dark, for she who is herself beyond mind and space reduces all things into that worldly nothingness, which, as the void of all, which we now know, is at the same time the all, Purna, which is light and peace. So he's saying Kali is nothingness and at the same time Purna, completeness. She stands upon the white corpse-like body of Shiva. Corpse-like body. It's not saying Shiva is a dead body. No, corpse-like body of Shiva. He is white. See the difference? She is black, Shiva is white. He is white because he is the illuminating transcendental aspect of consciousness. You have to remember, these are not human body or human persons. They are ideas, principles. He is the illuminating transcendental aspect of consciousness. He is inert because he is a changeless aspect of the Supreme. That's Brahman. And she is the apparently changing aspect of the same. In truth, she and he are one and the same. There's no difference between Shiva and Kali, one and the same. Sri Ramakrishna says Brahman and Kali are one and the same. She and he are one and the same, being twin aspects of the one who is changeless in and exists as change. The same. Shiva and Kali are not two separate entities. When is static center, Shiva. Dynamic center, Kali. Again, as we heard from Mithu, Shiva is dependent on Shakti. Without Shakti, Shiva won't be able to do anything, or won't even able to move. Because she is the dynamic, active aspect. And another book called Tantra, its mystic and scientific basis says, Shiva is the witnessing force knowing entity. But without the activation of Shakti, he remains objectless, unmanifested. Without Shakti, the dynamic aspect, he remains unmanifested. It's there, but no manifestation. Shakti is neither absolute nor independent entity. She is the immanent principle of Shiva. That's why she is standing on Shiva. As Mithu said, we don't no longer accept the other explanation that Shiv Kali dancing and suddenly stepped on Shiva. We ask to know what the real idea behind Shiva, Kali standing on Shiva. And what is she cutting off? She's cutting off our attachment, our ego. Severed head is the ego. What about the girdle of hands around her waist? Our grasping tendency. We want to get everything. We are always trying to get things from outside, from the nature, from people, nature, everything. We are grasping, always grabbing tendency. And you go to her, she will cut off our hands and make a garland, make them together and make a girdle around her waist. People are happy to worship benign aspect of God, protector, sustainer. Of course, everybody loves to pray to Lord Vishnu because he's sustainer. Very few people want to pray to Shiva being the destroyer. We have to understand what is the principle. Without destruction, can there be any creation? You put a seed in the ground. Does the seed remain there and then you get a plant? The seed is completely destroyed. The seed has to give up its existence for the plant to come. And only then you get a tree, flowers, fruits, everything. So every creation, new creation comes from the destruction. So don't get frightened about destruction. Only by destroying, new creation comes. Only by death, birth comes in. They go together. They're two sides of the same coin. You cannot avoid that. The same way, happiness and misery go together. How much we like the idea of God the destroyer, it's a fact. It's a fact of life. So Kali is the portrayal of nature of things, how things are. They go together. We cannot avoid. And universe completely good without any evil. It's a myth. Never happens. In a utopia, you can imagine a universe where everything is good, everybody is happy, no evil, no misery, everybody is laughing and joking and going on, healthy, no illness, no death. Never happens. It's only in your imagination. But even when you imagine like that, at the back of your mind, there's a fear. This may come to an end. Because that's a fact. They go together. So good and bad, creation, destruction, they all go together. If you accept one, you have to get the other. So what are we to do? The sages say, go beyond both. That's the easiest solution. Go beyond good and bad, happiness and misery. Oh, then you become like a inanimate object, a block of stone, a piece of wood, without any feeling. No. When you go beyond both, you will experience unending bliss, because that's the nature of Brahman. Brahman is existence, consciousness, bliss, absolute. It's absolute bliss. So when you go beyond both, you reach that state of absolute bliss. Swami Vivekananda looked upon worship of Kali as a worship of death. So he says, learn to recognize mother as that evil also as instinctively in evil, terror, sorrow, and annihilation, as in that which makes for sweetness and joy. Can we see the hand of Mother Kali or her hand in destruction? When the bushfire comes, are we able to see that? When the fire is burning, roaring fire comes up, if we can see, we are getting closer to Mother Kali. We can see. Because whatever happens, we know we are in the lap of Mother. But if we have that firm conviction, I'm sure Mother will protect us. And as we heard the music, all is done by your sweet will. Whatever happens is by her will. Without her will, not even a leaf move, fall on the ground. And Swamiji says, the heart must become a cremation ground. Pride, selfishness, and desire all burned into ashes. Then and then alone will Mother come. How many of us can do that? That's a question. We hear all these things. And then we go back and do our daily life. And go back to same grabbing tendencies, selfishness, egotism, everything. But at least we are here again and again. Some idea may go into us. That's all. That's why we have to hear it again and again, year after year, the same ideas. So something will go deep into us, and we may be able to practice a little bit. I don't say practice completely, practice a little bit, try a little. Those who can see the hand of Mother in all this, they are spiritual heroes. They are whom the Upanishads called Dhiras. They are the brave ones. They are the spiritual heroes. In ordinary life, we have got so many heroes are there, but that's not leading us anywhere on the spiritual path. When it comes to spirituality, when the tragedies strike us, all these heroes just collapse. They are no longer heroes. But those who are spiritual heroes, they'll be able to see the hand of Mother Kali in all this death, destruction, everything, whatever happens. They are not afraid of them. Sri Aurobindo writes, if her anger is dreadful to the hostile and the vehemence of her pressure painful to the weak and timid, she is loved and worshipped by the great, the strong, and the noble. See, some people, though, the timid, the weak, they're frightened. She's going to destroy us. And her dance is destruction. We get frightened. But she is loved and worshipped by the great, the strong, and the noble. For they feel that her blows beat what is rebellious in their nature into perfect strength and truth. Hammer straight what is wry and perverse, and expel what is impure and defective. They know, the spiritual heroes know, that her blows is making them purer and purer and taking them closer and closer to her. So they welcome it. They are not afraid. That's why they love. And then, of course, there is depending upon our attitude, our spiritual evolution, we worship Mother in different ways. See, whether if you're more of tamasic person, the worship will be tamasic. If you're rajasic, the worship will be rajasic. And sattvic worship. Sri Ramakrishna explains that tamasic people, according to their tendency, they worship Mother. They may be worshipping with animal sacrifice, wine, and in some cases even human sacrifice. Because their only spiritual evolution is so low. Rajasic people, they want to make big show, big festival, so many items of in ritualistic worship. There are different types of worship. Is there are 5 items worship, 10 item worship, 15 item worship, 16 item worship. So they have big worship. Then there is fire sacrifice, maybe going on for days together, lot of show, pomp. That is because that is Rajasic. And Sattvic people, their worship maybe just offer a little flower, some incense, maybe fruit, but with devotion. Sri Krishna says in the Gita, Patram pushpam halam toyam yome bhaktya prayachadi. Tadaham bhakti bharadam asnami prayadatmana. If you offer me a leaf, a flower, or even water with devotion, he puts a condition. Why did he put that condition? Can't he just say, you offer me water, flower? That's very easy. You don't have to spend any money because we love our money, hard-earned money. Yeah, flower you can get from the garden, or water is no problem. But he put a condition with devotion, that devoted offering I'll accept. Not with the whatever you make with big show. No, there is no guarantee that he will accept unless there is this one condition fulfilled with devotion. Whatever you do with devotion, he accepts. So the Sattvic devotee may be of very simple worship, but with devotion, because they love. There's no fear there. In the Tamasic devotee, great fear. If I do something wrong, mother will kill me. It happens. There'll be wrong reaction will be there, depending upon what their worship is. But Sattvic devotee is full of love. There is no fear at all. He or she loves mother, and mother loves child. Is there any mother who doesn't love her child? All mothers love their child, and she's the mother of all. She loves her children. That is what the poet saints Ram Prasad, Kamalakanda all said, and Sri Ramakrishna showed how to love Mother Kali as your mother. The abstract aspect we cannot love. See, human beings, how many of us can always remain on the high level of meditating on the impersonal aspect of Brahman? You may say, I am very intellectual. I don't like worshipping of forms of gods and everything. But then you are worshipping your own body. You are caring for your body. But caring for your, what's that? Isn't it a form idol? If you are absolute, then you should always think that I am that Atman, impersonal, formless aspect. We don't do that. Since we cannot identify ourselves with Atman, and we identify ourselves with our body, we have to think of God as with form. And that is why though Brahman and Kali are one and the same, the emotiveless, actionless, changeless aspect is Brahman. The aspect with change is Kali. Kali has been given a form so that we can worship her, love her, adore her as our mother. That's what we had to do. If we love her as mother, then there is no fear. Then her sword is not aimed at us, aimed at the fault that we have, all the faults that we have, all that things that bind us down, that she cuts off. So that way she's helping us. Just like a mother may chastise the child for some wrongdoing, but for the welfare of the child. So we have to remember, if mother does something which we don't like, let remember that something is not for our good. We may not do it our own choice, because we are ignorant. We don't know what's good for us, but she knows what's good for us. That we have to remember. She is our mother. She knows what's best for us.